Hello, BookTube. I want to show you a bunch of books that have hove onto view on my horizon. Books, I guess you could call this an am reading video or a currently reading video. These are the books that I'm working my way through last night, this morning, this afternoon, tonight, tomorrow morning. Starting with a terrific historical murder mystery series. A series that if you haven't read these books, oh boy, are you missing a treat. They are wonderful. This is by James Benn. And it's called Solemn Graves. These are the Billy Boyle mysteries, where he and his friend are they're embroiled in one murder mystery after another, taking place in the larger context of the World War. That shows, you know, the classic gimmick with some historical murder mysteries, which is that the murder doesn't stop for war. And this one is. Sounds fantastic. U.S. Army Detective Billy Boyle is called to investigate a murder in a Normandy farmhouse that threatens the operations of a top-secret ghost army. It's July 1944, a full month after D-Day. Billy, Kaz, that's his Polish friend, and also Big Mike, another addition to the cast, are assigned to investigate a murder close to the front lines in Normandy. An American officer has been found dead in a manor house serving as an advanced headquarters outside of a town in Normandy. Major Jerome was far from his own unit, arrived unexpectedly, and was murdered in the dark of night. The investigation is shrouded in secrecy due to the highly confidential nature of the American unit nearby in the Norman hedgerow country, the 23rd Headquarters Special Troops, a.k.a. the Ghost Army. This vague name covers a 1,000-man unit with a unique mission within the U.S. Army to impersonate other U.S. Army units by creating deceptions using radio traffic, dummy inflatable vehicles, and sound effects, causing the enemy to think they are facing large formations. Not even the units adjacent to their position know what they are doing. But there are German spies and informants everywhere, and Billy must tread carefully, unmasking the murderer while safeguarding the secret of the Ghost Army. And these things are so good for tension and dialogue and the real sense of atmosphere. They really do put you in the scene. It's a new one. I didn't get the advance copy. I haven't read it. I can't wait. Such a treat. And then this next on the list here is Demon Voices by Philip Pullman, the author of his Dark Materials. This is a collection of his nonfiction reflections on some authors, also pieces and speeches on the art of writing. Quite a few of these things I haven't read, and this is a lovely finished copy. So I'll be diving into that. I'm sure I will tell myself when I start it that I'll just be dipping in and out, but I'll probably just read it straight through. Then this next one, bound to frustrate me, but it might also please me. This is Yuval Noah Harari. This is 21 Lessons for the 21st Century. This is the author of the mega bestseller Sapiens, and also Homo Deus. This is him looking at the present day. What kind of lessons can we draw from the present day? And the reason why it might likely irritate me is because this author is so fond of the sound of his own voice. He's so fond of softball, faux intellectual ruminations that have no point in both senses of the word. They don't have a real sharp culmination or conclusion, and they also don't have any bearing on anything. It just he's sometimes seems to me, large parts of Sapiens, almost all of Homo Deus, I worry about this book. He sometimes seems to me to be the very living embodiment of a silly public intellectual, someone who's good at sounding profound but isn't profound. And I keep hoping for his books to contradict me, so I'm gonna try this one soon, today probably. And then this next one will not be, no matter what I say, this will not be a front-to-back reread. I read this front-to-back when it came out originally, and then won the Pulitzer Prize. And so I will be dipping in and out heavily, but I won't be reading this from front to back. This is the collected poems of Frank Bedard. In a lovely paper. The paperback just came out with the Pulitzer sticker on it and everything like that. And to put it mildly, this poet's work doesn't do anything for me at all, but 20 Million Frenchmen can't be wrong, so I'm going to try it again. I'm going to try large bits of it again. This next one is also a reread. This won't take long at all. I read it when it originally came out, and I don't think I reviewed it for anybody, but I read it and I thought, that's interesting. that point is interesting, this point is interesting, but I think ultimately this is twaddle. This is Jean Twenge's iGen. Her long Chicken Little screed about how 21st century smart technology is hollowing out young people and turning them into android zombies. And I didn't. It was spun out of a very famous and hugely viral Atlantic Monthly article, and I read it when I got the book. I read the article and I read the book when I got it, and I didn't buy it. I didn't buy it at all. I know a lot of these people, and the book gave me the impression that the author doesn't know any of them, that she's only studied them, but that she doesn't know them, and that she's happier knowing them through charts and graphs and surveys than actually what they do. Now, I know that isn't true, because she, in the book, she says she knows some of them, but I don't know. When I read this the first time, I thought, all right, well, this is hyper alarmist worst case scenario that you have made, but you haven't written it that way. You haven't written it as if it is that. You haven't said, here's what could go wrong, even though that's what you're writing. Instead, you've written what could go wrong, but you've written it as this is happening. This is true, and there aren't any alternatives. And I don't believe that. So I've got it as paperback now. I'm going to give it another try. I'm going to give it another thorough read through. And then this next one, I would have probably have ignored, except that a couple of people whose opinions I really respect have already read it, and they said it's something special. They said I shouldn't miss it. This is Lisa Brennan Jobs. This is her memoir, Small Fry, about her life, and including very largely her life as a daughter of Steve Jobs. And I don't know. Something about that would have made me skip it, probably, but I've been told not to skip it, so I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to give it a try in this next reading cycle, however long these books are. So we've got Small Fry, we've got iGen, we've got the collected poems of Frank Bedard, but not all of them. Just a heavy sampling. Then 21 Lessons for the 21st Century, Demon Voices, Phil Pullman, and last but not least, James Benn's Solemn Graves, a Billy Boyle World War II murder mystery. And that is those are the books that I'm working on right now. So Tuesday reads, am reading. Well, I don't know exactly what we call this, but I thought I'd fill you in and bring you up to date. So I'll wrap this up for now, but I'll see you soon. Thank you, BookTube.